You are listening to The Thought Leaders Show with the world's cutting-edge, hottest innovators, influencers, and impact makers today. If you are looking for inspiration and motivation, listen in. Welcome to The Thought Leaders Show. Now, here's your host.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer, and I'm really happy to introduce today's guest, Jagdish Singh. He is an accomplished life force energy healer who is able to harness the universe's intelligent energy and transmit it to any part of the globe, connecting the recipient with nature's life force and creating a desirable impact on the recipient. Jagdish's abilities have been scientifically tested, measured, documented, and published in international peer-reviewed science journals. These studies suggest significant benefits and improvements in overall health, well-being, quality of life, skin quality, anti-aging, vitamin D3 absorption, bone health, and much, much more. Welcome, Jagdish.
Hello, Tammy. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And I wanted to add, not only do you have all of those other studies, but you have a significant experience with agriculture and livestock and other living things besides people and nutraceuticals. So I think that that's something I just wanted to open it up, that this is a much broader thing than just being focused on one specific thing. So I'd like you to explain exactly what is life force energy, and I know that it's connected to something called the Trivedi effect. Can you explain that to me a little bit more?
That is correct. The life force is the universal intelligence energy, and it has capability to it's intelligent energy, so it has capability to transform and provide anyone what they need for their fulfillment. And the Trivedi effect is the phenomena that has been proven in the world where through various science experiments, where it has through science shown the significant impacts on living and non-living things, effect in terms of transformation, effects in terms of betterment. So it through the Trivedi effect, everything is transformed in order to serve a better and higher purpose and function at its greatest potential. So the grace of Guruji Mahendra Trivedi, I have received that gift and ability to harness and transmit the Trivedi effect.
Okay, and I understand that this phenomenon, it's all been measured, validated, and documented in more than 4,000 studies at major research institutes. So this is something that has science backing it up, and I understand that you've participated in a lot of the science also, and that's how you became scientifically validated. Can you talk a little bit more about the science experiments that you participated in?
Absolutely. I'll be glad to. This is really grace of Guruji Mahendra Trivedi. He has shown to the world this ability, this through the this world-renowned phenomena of Trivedi effect, that transformation can happen to any living and non-living being. So, with his mentorship, his guidance, and being with him over the years, he has helped me develop this ability to harness this phenomena of Trivedi effect, the life force energy, the universal energy, and transmit and make an impact on living and non-living as well. And through his grace, we were able to participate in science experiments where I was also one of the participants, and we made difference in the outcome. So to give you an idea, we had done some preclinical research on cell-based as well as mouse-based models. And in one of the cell models, there was more than 275% increase in collagen levels. And in one of the mouse models, there was more than 1,000% increase in testosterone levels. These experiments go on and on. There are also experiments done on the bone health. And one of my experiments produced 150% increase in bone mineralization. And there was also experiments done on skin health, and the results were significant there as well. More than 140% improvement in skin cells. And also immunity. There were several experiments done on immunity, and results were equally phenomenal there as well. More than 100% improvement in overall immunity, and also a significant decrease in inflammation, which can cause several diseases. So one of the data shows that 90% decrease in inflammation was noted. And heart health is, everyone's desire. And one of the experiments showed 95% improvement in heart health. So all through Guruji's grace and his really guidance to help us participate in these experiments, we are able to bring these results and the gifts developed by him into this world.
Wow, that's really phenomenal. I mean, the scientific experiments, and they're done through these different universities and different research centers around the world. And of course, cell-based models, mouse-based models, those are the, I guess, state-of-the-art types of research that you're using to measure this phenomenon. And again, Guruji has done more than 4,000 experiments over the years, ranging anywhere from, like you said, cell-based all the way to different agricultural experiments and things like that. So can you tell me a little bit more about how you ended up becoming involved with Guruji, Mahendra Trivedi, and the Trivedi effect? How did that happen?
Absolutely. That's my pleasure. This is actually a story very dear to me. This is basically, I'm in a technical field. I'm in computer industry, IT industry for more than 25 years. But inside me, there was always that longing for spiritual growth. And I was also interested in several healing modalities and natural healing. And so that led me to several, paths, various healing modalities. And with that, I learned several of them and was also able to make impact with some of them. But I realized that all those were limited in nature, and always looking for, something deeper, something that can really transform to the core. And also there was like a growing dissatisfaction of not reaching to, you can say, the level of spiritual growth and peace one longs for. And that's where, when people say that when you're ready, teacher shows up. And there was, in May of 2011, a friend of mine invited to his retreat. Guruji Mahendra Trivedi was holding in Chicago. And that is when I first got exposed to Guruji. And I would say that was my biggest fortune, that I got introduced to him during that retreat. And during that retreat, Guruji was, along with his divine discourse, he was also administering divine blessings, energy transmissions. And he was doing that in a group setting and individual setting. But very first time I experienced that blessing, that's where I realized that this is what I was looking for all along. That divine connection. That's what Guruji does for everybody. He connects one to their God of understanding, and or God of their understanding, I should say. And that once you have that connection, that's what gives the ultimate satisfaction, ultimate peace, ultimate fulfillment. And so May 2011 is when I met Guruji. And since then, I've been with him, and with the grace of Guruji, with the grace of God, this is, I would say, for me, that is my life purpose, to stay connected with him and always be in a state so I could be deserving to receive his guidance and his blessings.
That's really a phenomenal story. And when you mix the divine connection with science, it really gives it a lot of interesting credibility and, of course, a lot of food for thought. Because if you look at science is always almost, they come up with the concept, a hypothesis, and it's like they're trying to disprove that their idea it works. All the experiments are about proving it to be false. And with the science, with Trivedi effect and with Guruji, all the science, experiment after experiment, all proves it to be true, that there is this life force energy and that it can be directed to living and non-living things and people and animals and materials, and that it does affect things. And of course, you told some of the results from your own experiments. So I just think that's a really interesting food for thought. I know that since you've been involved with Guruji now since 2011, and you kind of hinted at it, that part of your life's purpose is to grow in a higher consciousness and, of course, be connected to the divine. In this time, and I know you've listened to Guruji, he's done probably by now hundreds of discourses on how to be, to get a better connection to the divine, to become a better conduit for the divine. What would you say you have learned that is the most important thing that you need to do and be as a person to grow your consciousness from what Guruji has taught you?
That's a very good question, Tammy. And you have actually gone through a lot of points here. So I'm going to address one by one. Very first part where science, you were saying, is looking to deny, presence of divine and life force. Really, I think with the Guruji's experiments, the biggest shock for science was that, I would say, start with biggest belief of science was that structure of atom cannot be changed. And biggest shock for science was that with Guruji's ability to harness and transmit this divine energy, the structure of atom was changed. And not only it was changed once, it was changed every time Guruji conducted the experiments. And not only it changed in living, it changed in non-living, it changed in fungi, it changed in viruses. Everywhere experiments were done, those changes were noticed. So that's why we go with, saying that difficult to believe, but impossible to deny. That's kind of where one of the biggest, you can say, slogan came along with Trivedi effect. So science can say things, but they cannot deny the data. So the data is proving time after time that there is a divine connection between receiving this divine grace and transmitting to the object, and there are changes that are observed in that object. So this cannot be denied anymore because it has been proven time over time. And not only, Guruji has proven it further by helping us develop our gifts to allow us to do that. So this is like a new science. And what Guruji is doing, he's integrating science and consciousness together. He's integrating divine science and consciousness. So all are coming together. That is the new science. Now, as far as transformation on individual level, transformation on what you have to be in order to grow to next level in your consciousness, to rise to higher and higher consciousness. Guruji has been very clear, very direct in his teaching that one has to be a deserving candidate. One has to develop that deservedness to receive and hold this energy so the transformation can occur. And how you become deserving is by becoming honest, by becoming pure, by becoming truthful, and staying true to your purpose. So all this is, once you are in that state, with grace of Guruji, with him connecting us to divine or God of our understanding, transformation occurs, and it happens at faster and faster speed. So this is really, Guruji is a gift to this, planet Earth, where someone like him is available to connect one to their divine, to their God of understanding. Nowhere on this planet you can find that. So for me, this is really a very fortunate time to be connected with Guruji, to be in his presence, receive guidance from him, and receive these blessings from him, which bring more and more transformation every day, every moment, and help me rise to next levels. And transformation occurs at all levels. It's not, just, at one level. It's physical, mental, emotional, psychological, spiritual, and finances, your business. It impacts all areas of your life.
Thank you. That was a beautiful explanation. And I really liked when you were talking about the merging of the how science and the spiritual and science are merging together, because it's people seem to need that show me and that validation, and that's what science helps to do. I know that you're very interested in the agricultural aspects of how the Trivedi effect can be used with agriculture and livestock. Just using that as just kind of a jumping point, what are some of the benefits of the Trivedi effect in an agricultural or a livestock or in feeding the world sense?
I think that's actually very, you can say, promising and very encouraging outcome for the world. And that's, again, I'm so grateful for Guruji's presence on this planet, because if you look at state of our food chain today, it's really deteriorating. All these fungicides, pesticides, fertilizers, they are on one side helping improve the production or protect from diseases, but on the other side, it's also creating negative impact on the nutrient quality and overall food quality. There are, even though there are guidelines of, what level of fertilizers or fungicides you can add, there are still remnants which create negative impact on the health for every human. So what's promising from Trivedi effect is that there are experiments done where crops could be grown without use of any of these chemicals. So there was experiment done in India on a cashew field, 106-acre land, and results were significant. There is those cashews, the quality of those cashews was like day and night apart when you compare with what was, best of the chemicals, best of the fertilizers given to them versus just Guruji's blessing, Trivedi effect administering on them. And it not only improved the quality, the taste, the aroma, shelf life, and nutrients. It basically changed the way we can think about agriculture in future. So I'm extremely hopeful that going forward, these are possibilities which we will explore and work with, and bring more and more purer food to human beings. And the experiments were not only done on one crop; they were done on many crops. Okay, and all of them showed significant differences, and the quality on all of them improved.
I think that's really phenomenal when you think about all of, like you said, the pesticides, the fungicides, the soil quality, and even organic foods, have some residue in them. And if you read the labels of food today, you see a lot of genetically modified food. You'll see food that says it's gluten-free, but that food has to be manufactured in a totally gluten-free environment. It can't be manufactured in any place that also had wheat in it. And if you look around the world, think about it. If with the Trivedi effect, imagine if food could be grown without all of those added chemicals, and it required less water and all these different things, how wonderful that would be. And I know they've also done experiments with chickens, and the chickens, the control group were treated like normal chickens with the antibiotics and the medicated food, and then there were the chickens who all they got was regular water and the Trivedi effect energy, and those chickens were a higher quality chicken overall, and more meat, better quality. So they have done experiments, like you said, the cashews, the mangoes, all kinds of crops, and then of course with chickens and beef and everything. So there is definitely evidence, scientific evidence, that this food production could happen, and that the food quality could go up. And I think that that's a really important thing to be looking at because of everything that's happening in our world today. That's really phenomenal. Well, Jagdish, we've just barely opened up all of our topics that, of course, we could talk about. If somebody wanted to connect with you and ask you more questions and find out more about you and Life Force Energy and the Trivedi effect, how can they do that?
Yes, of course. Those more details are available on my website, singjagdish.com. So anyone can log in, get to internet and access that site. And there is also data available there regarding science experiments, as well as details about Life Force Energy and different programs.
Okay. And then also they can check out trivedieffect.com if you really want to dig deep. They have like hundreds of the science experiments listed there also that you can find out about. So before I let you go, Jagdish, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, I'm very thankful and definitely do check out trivedieffect.com because you will see the transformation that has been done primarily even on the main page. In addition to science, on the main page you can see transformation happen to different crops and also in different areas of overall health. So as far as other details are concerned, science, there are more than 200 experiments you can find on that website.
Well, great. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jagdish, for spending time with me today.
Thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate your time.
This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
You've been listening to the Thought Leaders Show. To get all past shows and to get all future shows, go to thoughtleadersshow.com.